Hello everybody, welcome back. Well, I didn't need to say welcome back. Well, I can say welcome back. Welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. We come to you every Wednesday from 9 o'clock through to 10 o'clock. I watched last week's show, the repeat, and I saw the beautiful new picture, Cape Town TV, full screen now, 16 by 9. What a step up for Cape Town TV. So we welcome you to a whole new viewing experience, and I think that's really fantastic. Big milestone for Cape Rugby TV and Cape Town TV. And big thanks to our supporters and viewers and fans that have been supporting Cape Rugby TV over the years, and we've taken one step up every week and over the years together with all our fans. So really, it's not a one-man show. We can't do it without you. So big thanks, and we trust that you'll enjoy the new viewing screen. Big thanks to Hisense on board with Cape Rugby TV. Score Energy Drinks, as you know, they're on board with us, as well as with the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Hoping to find out more about that during the course of the year. Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road, and of course Colour Tone and SaveSASport.com. Remember, you can get all your apparel at a discount using the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. All right, let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Lyndon Julius, welcome back, meneer.
Thank you. Good evening, JP. Good evening to all the viewers out there. It's good to be back.
Jerome Paarwater.
Yeah, JP, maybe I must say welcome back to you. It's the first time I've seen you since you've been out of the country. Welcome back.
That's normally the other way around. When it comes to travelling up, I'm always the one saying you. Yes, no, thanks. It's good to be back. Lyndon Julius was standing in for me. Very capable and
very daunting, but very capable, like you say. But yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah, well, we've only heard good things. But talking about good things, folks, everybody's now talking about what the league is going to look like, and the fixtures are slowly starting to come out. At the moment, it's only university fixtures, so you're going to have to hold your horses a little bit while Western Province Rugby still work out the permutations of who plays where. Of course, the league is scheduled to start on the 2nd of June, but it's still very early days in terms of the fixtures, and the university fixtures so far are the only ones that have been formalized, and it is, even there, it's going week to week, so you're going to have to just hang on a little bit. We have got some double headers this weekend, though, with Vix up against UCT, and then of course Marties versus UWC. That's going to be at the Donny Craven Stadium. In the meantime, of course, we are covering those games, such as UCT up against UWC. That was this past weekend we went out there. We'll show you the highlights of that in a second or so. But just before we get going, for those of you that are keen on finding out last night's result between Marties and Vix, basically the first team and the second team playing there, 56-12 win for Marties. Marties, of course, putting themselves straight into a position where they probably now are on top of the log, but we'll take a look at that a little bit later. We might not have done all those calculations just yet. Lyndon, I know that the fixtures aren't out yet. It's still early days, but within a matter of minutes almost, everybody started going club rugby. Beniek, is that a good word?
That's a good word.
But the fever, club rugby fever, is of course up and running again. Everybody's talking about it on Facebook. The posters are coming out. The people are starting to talk about who's playing where and which games. I know the only thing that's missing at the moment is the field locations, but certainly the gees is there. I
definitely think that this sort of moratorium has sort of made clubs push forward and push further than for the friendly fixtures and to get the league going. I also think that we should delay the league maybe by a month next year again. It will give players, or the clubs will give them that time just to get everything going, because we've seen fantastic posters, we've seen fantastic videos, we've seen fantastic matchups and lineups, clubs playing that would never have played against each other. Just last week I spoke to someone from Robertson, and they said they have never had that much coverage of the Boland League ever. So I mean, that's brilliant.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that anybody
television
who's watching right now can get in touch with us, and we can have a conversation, and they can always share what we do with their fans, and from time to time we can help out. But of course, we are a Western Province Club Rugby show, and we have to look after our home clubs first and foremost. So. But it's been good to, of course, the support. I think, Jerome, I'll throw it at you now. The support from the folks in the Boland Union, of course, folks on the West Coast, even as far as SVD. It's been, you can see how the other rugby organizations unite when they need each other.
Yeah, a couple of years back, JP, I don't know if you can still remember, where a few Boland clubs actually asked, they phoned me and asked, but can't Cape TV come and cover some of their games, especially if they play their derby games. So I said they must just hold on. Maybe Cape TV will make a turn there. And I mean, this year is, they've got a lot of coverage, and I think they all talk about it. And I mean, the guys I know they sit in front of the TV, especially the Boland clubs, because they're not used to that. So hopefully in the future you can cover more of them.
Yeah, we have to obviously have a chat with her. I'm pretty sure that we've got. It's a difficult scenario. Everybody, I mean, we know that in South Africa sponsorship is hard to come by. I mean, heaven knows Cape Rugby. It's Cape Rugby TV, not Cape TV, by the way. That's kind of more of a closed circuit television scenario. CCTV and CTV. I know it's very complicated, but folks, for the record, it's Cape as behind me, Cape Rugby TV.
or not Cape Sports. Cape Sports TV is also where they tend to go to. I like that. But we've been talking about the fact that getting sponsorship is very difficult. I mean, it's as difficult for Cape Rugby TV, mainly because of a time factor. I think we've got an extremely good value proposition. We've got hundreds of thousands of viewers. We simply need people to come on board and sponsor, and that will help us to get out there to the games. At the moment, we focus on one game per week, and it's very difficult when you know that there's a local club that needs sponsorship and they need TV. So now, do you travel far away, or do you look after the local club that needs help? So it's a difficult decision, but which is why I say I think we're extremely grateful to the Boland teams, at least the Boland Union and the other unions that have helped our local clubs in a difficult time. But anyway, folks, without any further ado, as you know, as I mentioned, we were out at UCT against UWC over the weekend. And we got a couple of interviews with Adrian Parwater, of course related to Parwater, Jerome Parwater here with me, like every other Parwater in Cape Town. Lionel Langenhoven is, of course, the coach at UWC. Wesley Chetty is the UCT captain. And Essie, Christian Esteres, and the UCT coach. We'll be catching up with them during the course of the show. 33090 is the number that you need to text if you want to win yourself a set of double tickets to go watch the Stormers take on the Chiefs at Newlands this weekend. 33090, just SMS the keyword DHL Stormers. You put yourself in the mix to win a set of double tickets to Newlands this coming weekend. In the meantime, let's watch UCT up against UWC.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Right, what a game. UCT against UWC. Or maybe I'm just excited about the fact that I'm watching a little bit of league rugby. UCT against UWC, of course, both teams in a Super League A. I see the Facebook messages are going absolutely insane with comments coming in here from Chantel van der Vent and Arun Fortin and Manny Williams, all talking about fixtures coming up this weekend. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. Jerome, UCT and UWC, I mean, you've been involved with UWs. They took a bit of a knock this weekend with the match against UWC, but not a massive margin, 33-16. We'll take a look at the second half highlights in a second. But it looks like UWC had some nice running rugby there.
Yeah, I think the first half UWC score was 13-12, but Lionel told me that he told the guys that Sealed is finished now. It's back to big business now.
Yeah.
So they have to stick to the plans and the plays. So I think they played with the wind the first half. They could have used the wind much more and could have had more points. So they played a lot of rugby in their 22. And I know the Lionel and Bola wanted them to kick and play in their 22 because they're quite a good team, backs with attacking ball.
Yeah.
And so they played a lot of rugby in their 22. In the second half, their forwards got tired because if you play against the wind, you're supposed to keep the ball. So they just did it versa versa. But I think they must really understand what the coaches say. Like the Sealed is finished. It's big business now. They're quite a young side, so they need to learn quickly.
How much difference do you think there is between the Shield and the Super League A?
No, it's massive, JP. It's massive, and I think for UWC
being now massive, you mean it's much harder
it's
playing
much,
Super League A rugby?
Super League A, it's much harder.
Yeah.
That's why they do every year. They do well in the Shield because coming off the league, playing against older guys and tough and hard rugby, they really there's not a team in the Shield that can beat them. And also with our club rugby being the strongest in South Africa, it's good for them. But now they're going to the Cup, so they need to understand and need to use this to prepare them for the Cup and to play according to the plan. It's not holes anywhere, just gonna run through.
You got to think strategically, right, folks? You want to win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the DHL Stormers play against the Chiefs at Newlands this weekend. 33090, 33090. Just SMS the word DHL Stormers to 33090. A little bit later, we'll put the ticker line on the screen, and you can put yourself in the mix to go to Newlands this weekend to go and watch the DHL Stormers take on the Chiefs. A set of double tickets, 5 sets of double tickets up for grabs. We'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the second half of that match between UCT and UWC. We'll speak to Lyndon Julius about what he thought of the game. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night, and we talk to you about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Just a reminder then, set of double tickets up for grabs. SMS DHL Stormers to 33090. Coming up a little bit later, I'll give you a chance to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. And don't forget, sasport.com. Just use that coupon code Cape Rugby TV. All right, we managed to catch the second half of the highlights between UCT and UWC as they played at the Green Mile. welcome back, everybody. All right, then. So we got the final result there. Then, of course, it was a win for UCT over UWC, 33-16. Lyndon, before we went into the break there, you had a look at the first half. Your feeling on the game?
Yeah, I agree with Jerome. I saw that first two moves of UWC trying to run from the 22. You know, it's basic rugby that you get taught at school. Schoolboy level, where in your 22 you kick the ball, and if the wind is behind your back, even more so, you pin them down in their half and you play rugby in their half. It sounds very basic and very raw, but I mean that would have worked for you because coming out of a shield, I mean they demolished every team that they could get, running from within their own goal. And then when the second half comes, you play with the wind in your face. And now your forwards are tired, your backs are tired because you've been running for 40 minutes against a UCT side, irrespective of how unfit or how not fit they are, they will stop you.
Jerome, last year what we had to do was we had to wait until halfway into the season before Marty started playing their first games. And so when you looked at the log for the first 8 weeks or so, Marty's was sitting at number like 6 on the log, but they had 9 games in hand, or they had a lot of games in hand. This year it's going to be slightly different because now the universities have played. By the time that the league starts, a lot of the teams will already have identified where Marty's is on the log, who they have to play, and I think a lot of teams will be gunning for Marty's. But how much difference do you think it'll be making for the teams that they know more or less Marty's, Vix, UWC, UCT, over the next 4 weeks, there they are, how many games they've played, and they can now work it out a little bit, whereas last year they didn't really know.
Yeah, it's much easier for teams that's really competitive in the league to see which games, and especially their home games. If teams that think they have an opportunity to beat Marty's, especially at home, then they must use that home ground advantage. Because last year was difficult because Marty's came from behind and they haven't played, as you say. This year you know exactly what and where you have to go.
Yeah. Because coaches like Ishmael Dolly, he will be looking at the log, and he'll be calculating it. He'll sort of work it out. Jonathan van der Walt as well. They'll be working out which games do we want to target. Now you've got the advantage of seeing where the universities are.
Yeah, and also after the games that they play now, the reason why they're also playing, because they're going sort of on a study break again after when they finish playing amongst each other. So then for a month or almost 2 months, they're going to be out of rugby. So then if they come back, as you say, you know exactly how to hit them, how to target them. So it's going to be open. It's still going to be tough, but it's going to be open for clubs to exactly work out where they want to be.
Yeah. Right, folks. So UWC captain Adrian Parvater, we managed to catch up with him after the game.
I think we made some silly errors today. It was a tough encounter. I think we had him in the first half, but silly errors in the second half led to silly tries. And our average age is around about 23. There's like probably one guy that's over 25. We're building, and it's not the end of the world. I think we're building towards a successful group as UWC, and I think looking forward we can just go to the drawing board and focus on silly areas like our kickoffs and keeping the ball as long as possible. Yeah, we have a core group that we are working with now at the moment. It's looking very well and excellent for us into the future. I think we just need to focus on us as a team, because there's some guys that never played with us in the Shield, so we're a bit rusty, but no excuses. We just need to go back and go back to the drawing board. That's all. Yes, definitely. We no doubt about it. We need to be ready, because we're not here just for the comfort. We're here to compete in the Super League A, and I think we will definitely, going forward, we will improve.
Right, folks, Adrian Parvater, the captain of UWC. Lyndon sounds like a very mature captain, and clearly he's emphasizing the boys are not there to to play games,
Yeah.
so to speak. They're serious about the league.
They're not there to muck around, yeah. So, yeah, incidentally, that pack, that entire pack, Jerome was just telling me off here that they all are below 21. So that's a very young pack. He sounds mature, and I'm actually shocked to hear that Adrian is also a 20-year-old, because I've seen his rugby over the last 3 years. It has really grown, and it has really picked up and sort of made huge strides. And it's good to see a university pack.
Yeah.
And I hope that UWC retain this pack over 3 years, so we can actually see the glory days of UWC back in Super League Rugby.
Quite a young pack, Jerome.
Yeah, and what Chester was saying is that he's not going to look to get older guys in, and I think UCT is making that mistake because they want to build these guys for next year. And UCT played with sort of an older pack, and some of the guys won't be able to play in the cup next year. So I think the plan with them in most of those guys has been playing since last year. So if they can play together for three years, JP, I think next year will be a good stepping stone for them in the cup, and the year after they can really compete. As Adrian was saying, they can really compete.
Well, I think one of the interesting things is, of course, that most folks will forget that Lionel Langenhoven, who's coaching the team now, is not the same coach as but we'll talk about that in a second. Lionel Langenhoven is, of course, the coach at UWC during the league fixtures. Chester Williams during the Varsity Cup. Let's catch up now with Lionel Langenhoven, UWC coach.
Yeah, so it's good to be back, and it's not a perfect start that we've hoped for, but look, that's the name of the game, and our boys just weren't good enough on the day. Execution was poor. Technically, we were poor in the first half. We didn't use the wing. We asked them to play in a certain corner, and they didn't execute it. They didn't perform. So. Yeah, we should have had more points in the first half while we were playing with the wind behind our back. It's a huge step up playing in our league. Our league is the best in the country. So the guys are tougher. The guys are physically stronger, and they look after the ball much longer. And you see today that the amount of tackles we had to make, and that brings fatigue in. So it's lessons they need to learn, and the sooner we change our attitude towards our approach to the league and stop hampering on our Shield success, it's a huge difference, my friend. Yeah, I mean, we're playing now against all university sides, and then it's exam time for them, and then we still have USA to go to, and then we come back and start our campaign in the league. So it's very different that we used to in the past. So, but we will adapt, and I'm sure the boys will be ready for the league campaign.
Lionel Langenhoven, coach at UWC. He's been coaching there for a while now. Jerome, Lionel, a lot of experience. He's been a number of different teams. We've had him on the show a lot of occasions as well. How much communication would him and Chester Williams have had now? Chester would obviously sort of handing over the custodianship of his team to Lionel for a few months, and he wants to come back and he wants to make sure that, you know, a little bit like Rassie Erasmus coaching the Springboks, he's got to be taking things over from the Super Rugby teams.
Yeah, I mean they talk on a daily basis. Chester is still sort of almost like the director, give him the whatever they need to do, in also planning for next year and what they need to do, who they want to play, who's the new players they want to see. So they talk on a daily basis. But Lionel's got a lot of experience. He's been with lots of Western Province sides.
But his challenge originally was moving from a normal club to a university club. You know, begin, rethink, sort of strategize how you're going to do it. And he looks like he's settling into it now. Of course, UWC beat UCT for the first time, I think, in history under his watch.
Yeah, they beaten them last year, and yeah, I mean he's been around, and it was a challenge for him. And one of the challenges for him, Bola and Chester, was to get to stay there and to get out of the Shield and play in the Cup. So I mean they succeed in that, and now they just need to build. But Lionel's got huge experience.
Yeah. A lot of different thinking at a university club versus a regular club. The support structures are completely different. The league structures and fixtures are completely different. So a lot of challenges there. We'll be speaking to Wesley Chetty, who's the UCT captain, as well as Essie Estrazen, or Christian Estrazen from UCT after the break. Remember, if you want to win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the Chiefs against the Stormers at Newlands this weekend, then 33090 is the short code. Just send the keyword DHL Stormers to 33090. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, Wesley Chetty and Christian Estrazen from UCT. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Remember, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, 33090, just SMS the word SCORE, 33090. And you could put yourself in the mix to win a case. Congratulations to last week's winner, Melvin Silky. Melvin walks away with a case. Melvin, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly, and you walk away with that case of Score energy drinks. It's great for take a drink of this before you go rugby training, folks. You'll have a good training session. You'll be very busy, very active. We managed to speak to Wesley Chetty as the captain of UCT after the UCT UW game.
Yeah, it's a great time to get out there again. I think we've been waiting long enough now since the Varsity Cup. We've been off for about a month. We've been training quite hard and going through what we needed to fix after Varsity Cup, and yeah, things are going really well. I think Essie's really been working us hard. Good to start off the league today. Good win, 33-16 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, great combination. I think there's guys like Sam Perry, he's been involved with the Super Sport Challenge, and guys like Nama Knaba. They've been working really hard out with John Dobson at Province, and to get them back in the mix today is fantastic. And if we put these combinations together for the rest of the season, it will be good for us. Yeah, definitely. We went with a bit of a different preparation. We had our own internal competition, which I think worked well. It got the whole club together, guys working hard, getting our match fitness up, and we'll probably a competition that we'll keep going forward for the rest for a couple of seasons to go. Yeah.
Wesley Chetty, the captain at UWC there. Let's put the rugby, the scores aside. Lyndon, nice to just have a friendly, smiley captain.
Yeah, it's always good to chat to Wesley. He's one of those stalwarts like Charlton van die Haarsveld, the guys that have been around in rugby, the JB van Ster, that always been there. You always see them on the field, and it's good to see that he's smiling after 80 minutes of some solid scrumming.
There was a time that the camera was a bit foreign to some of the coaches and captains. They didn't really want to talk to you. Now it's almost like they're expecting the TV channel to be there, and they know that there's guaranteed TV for club rugby.
Yeah, they know exactly where to look and how to speak and where to stand and how to stand, and it's good that that side of their personality has also been developed through Cape Rugby.
Yeah, and I think it's also nice to know that in this case it's your own media. It's not the foreign media looking to pull you apart.
Three pieces of brief, and it's always positive. Like you say, you're right. It's always positive. There's no bad headlines. There's no bad commentary. It's very uplifting and upbuilding.
Yeah, one of the coaches that has also taken to supporting us here at Cape Rugby TV is Christian Estrazen. He's been around the park many years now. We first met him at the Sevens tournaments, and he's also been contributing to UCT for a very long time. Christian Estrazen.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's actually nice for us, and I guess for UWC to have a Varsity Cup and have a 2 or 3 week break before you start the league. Previous years you just get stuck into it, rest 4 days and you get into it. So it's nice for us to have this opportunity to play the 3 universities. So yeah, I'm stoked to have the guys kicking the campaign off with a win. Yeah, I think in general our team, we've basically got the same team for the 3rd year now, so the guys are getting more experienced every year. I think it showed in our Varsity Cup as well. And yes, we've got some older guys like Wes Chetty and Neil Rotenbach, some experience back, and that definitely helps to guide the youngsters to get wiser and smarter on the field. Look, we're playing these 3 matches, and then we've got the exams and then a holiday. So I don't know. We're going to play about 14 games in 8 weeks in August, September. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll have to rely on our depth and our squad. So it's definitely going to be challenging those last 2 months.
Christian Estrazen just talking there to us about the the dynamics of the league, or at least the fixtures coming up. Save SA Sport is on board with Cape Rugby TV. If you would like to purchase any apparel, then savesasport.com is the site to go to. Remember, you can use the Cape Rugby TV code, the coupon code Cape Rugby TV, to get yourself a 20% discount off everything online, from rugby boots to footwear and apparel. And if you spend more than 750 Rand, it's free delivery anywhere in South Africa. So buy those boots, Puma, Mizuno, Canterbury, New Balance, Asics, 20% off www.savesasport.com. Just go and check out that website. Moving to back to the UCT game there. Playing a number of games like that in a row. Would you say the shoe's on the other foot for the universities this year? Because I don't think it's too many games.
No, I don't think it is, because I mean, if it was a normal league fixture, they would have, one of the university teams would have played a Saturday, Tuesday or Wednesday game, and then a Saturday game. So now it's just the four of them, the four university teams will just have to adjust it out for the next 8 weeks. And I think they can push hard, because they've got about 2 months, month and a half break. When most other open clubs will then be battling it out in the league. But I think the university,
because certainly one way to make your workload a little bit easier is to not play on Wednesdays, and then just play a little bit longer in the year. Jerome, I don't know how.
I know where you are going with this, and I like your idea, because you can start in Jan and you can finish in December. That's how long.
Yeah, I don't like your idea of asking the clubs to delay their season even longer, right?
I didn't say playing. I said the league, the official league started.
Yes, no.
I didn't say the.
I don't like that idea. Also, okay. As far as I'm concerned, the league must start in January, in December, and start the next week. You get maybe 4 days.
The league could have started already. The fields are ready. The guys need to be playing now already. So that's out of my control. If I could, the league would have started last week already.
Absolutely,
for everyone.
No, well, I think everybody's loving it at the moment. The fact that the Gees is back, it's Club Rugby fever. Everybody's talking about it. A lot of friendlies coming up this weekend as well. In fact, we're going to take a look at those friendlies in a second. But double headers at Donny Craven Stadium this weekend. It's Vix up against UCT and Marty's up against UWC. So some very interesting matches still coming up. But certainly it's university time at the moment. Let's quickly look at some of the friendly results from the weekend. UCT, as you know, beating UWC 33-16. Tygerberg 55-17 over Kales River. St. George's beating SK Warmers 38-33. Franschhoek 56-7 over Albions. And Brackenfell taking a knock against Hamilton's 56 points to 19. Let's look at some of those results. Lyndon, you've got a bit of a feeling what's going on at Tygerberg. The Kayla boys, of course, looking to grow into Super League A, at least in their league at the moment.
Yeah.
Tygerberg, of course, looking to manifest put their stamp on Super League A. Your feeling on the?
I think Tygerberg, obviously, last year they did a lot of preparations in it with Brendel taking over from Ricky. But Brendel has been in the setup as a player, and then he migrated, or he sort of promoted to coach. Brendel has been there. The players have been coming in, but there's been a core group of players, core group of administrators at the Tygerberg Rugby Club. And I think from last year, before the moratorium kicked in, Tygerberg was already rolling in for the season. And I think that momentum, they sort of just kept going.
You think they're going to have a chance this year?
I think they definitely have a chance in it. I think the game against Marty's will be a very good litmus test for them. I think Marty's will be the team to beat this season.
The other game that we had on the cards that we had a look at that you seem to have a bit of knowledge on is St. George's against SK Warmers.
Yeah.
And St. George's taking a win there. 38-33. You said they had to travel to Maltino.
Yeah, in
Grabo. And you had a look at some of the footage from the game. Your thoughts?
We just want to say thank you to Maltino, the community there, for allowing, because we have played at least 5 or 6 games there now already, and that's been really good from them.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously a moral boost for St. George's to win a team like SK Warmers, who are known to be a Super League A club. They've been there for many years now. SK is obviously rebuilding with Dr. Wilbur Kraak taking over the coaching reins there. But they're a very good side. I think it was just the 2 penalties or the 3 penalties in the second half that Patrick van Wyk kicked that allowed St. George's. But there's still a lot of improvement on both sides of these clubs for Super League A.
Jerome, St. George's has played quite a lot of friendlies so far this season. SK Warmers, not so many. We had a chat with John van der Walt about this last week. Do you think that playing so many friendlies is a good thing or a bad thing? Can it count against you? Certainly, it seems to have. Well, we don't know if it's because of the friendlies, but the result was in St George's favour there.
Yeah, if they use the friendlies to see to sort of take stock who's in the club, if they change,
Yeah.
if it's not about winning, and they use it to play maybe fringe guys who hadn't played last year, guys who want to see new guys, then it's always good to play. The best thing is to play, because some players get fitter when they play.
Yeah.
They can't get fit of just running around on the field. So I think it's always good to play games.
All right, so St George's taking the win there against SK Warmers. Both teams obviously just testing the water and now certainly getting that feeling that it is now a friendly. That's not just a casual friendly, it's a friendly that must have a preparation for the league feeling about it. Franschhoek beat Albion's 56 points to 7, and then the other Super League A game was Hamilton's beating Brackenfell 56-19. Same thing there. Both teams, not a lot of friendlies this year, but Hamilton's, of course, showing again straight away. They didn't peak in the same way that False Bay peaked last year, but already the message is out there. We're here to play. 56-19 for Hamilton.
Same case as Tygerberg. Nicky Viljoen took over from Anton Moorman at the end of last season, and Nicky's also played at Hamilton's. He's migrated or was promoted to the coaching staff. I think Hamilton's have done. They are one of those clubs that have done everything under the radar, or sort of just kept.
Well, they've been fairly social, little trips and all.
Yeah. But I think the
Jerome, your
side of
feeling
things-
on Hamilton's? Do you think that they'll be looking to put their, after False Bay's dominance last year and Marty's, Hamilton's will be looking to put their stamp of authority on Super League A this year?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised on that score, because I watched Brackenfell in Milnerton a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And Brackenfell, they really look good. They gave Milnerton a run, so I thought that they're going to be the team to watch out for this year.
Yeah,
They've got a few players in. I know Monty the Monty's there, and also the Roderick the Lock, who used to be at Hamilton's. They there, so they've got a few, and also the number 8 who used to be at Milnerton are there. So they did a lot of
Brackenfell,
homework.
you reckon Brackenfell's a team to look out for this year?
No, but that's why I'm surprised about that score, because I thought they got a big pack of forwards, and I thought, but then Hamilton's are.
Well, maybe
Hamilton's.
Maybe Brackenfell is taking a few cards out of the Ishmael Dolly book and playing their cards close to their chest. We'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. Welcome back, everybody. Right, as many of you know, at least the clubs that are watching right now, as you know, you can send us your posters that we will share on Facebook, and we'll also share it here on Cape Rugby TV. Your posters, your game day posters, which gives you an opportunity to put your sponsors that you might have on the sponsors poster. Remember to include the Cape Rugby TV logo, and of course Western Province Rugby Union logo if you have permission from them, but certainly the Cape Rugby TV logo. Put it in the corner there, share the poster with us, and remember, try and do it in the shape of your TV screen, so we have a nice picture for the TV screen. So send us your club rugby posters. It's a fantastic way for you to go to sponsors and say, if you sponsor our game or sponsor our club, we can tell you that you will be on TV. All right, so it's a great way to get some money from local business to support your club. How often do you get a chance to tell local business they're going to be on television? So take advantage of the poster opportunity. Let's take a look at some of the posters that came in this week. It's the Reavers up against Kailsriver boys. Yesterday playing Kailsriver Saturday, 12th of May. The venue is still be confirmed. There's going to be 3 teams kicking off at 1:30, just before 3 o'clock, and of course then the final game at 4 o'clock. Another poster that came in is the Maroon Derby from Manny Williams, under 20 St George's, kicking off at, they're kicking off at 1:30. The second team kicks off at 2:45, and the first team kicks off at 4 o'clock. Hartia is Belleville. All right, and as Manny says, stay positive. You can see the nice Cape Rugby TV logo, as well as the Union logo. The Lulu boys getting ready for the Maroon Derby against Tygerberg. That's going to be a monster game. And then Franschhoek is playing against Peninsula. Second team kicks off at 12, and then the first team kicks off at 2:30. Franschhoek takes on Peninsula second side, and Franschhoek takes on Hamadias in their first team league. Remember, the buses there are departing at 9:30 already in the morning, all the way through to 10:30, and the venue is at the police ground in Police. the Police in Pinelands at least. Ike's Tigers take on Vix this weekend. This is, of course, at the Donny Craven Stadium. 2:30 for the Ike Tigers. The second team kicks off at 1:15, and as well as the under-20A side at 1:15. All those games taking place at Kutsenberg. Right, other friendly fixtures, folks. So there you have it. Those are the posters that came in over the weekend. Other friendly fixtures over the weekend. Franschhoek, Hamadiers, as we mentioned. Villagers take on Brackenfell. Police are up against Peninsula. Eerste Rivier and Kale boys, Durban and False Bay. There's going to be a big match there. Paarl and NTK, Hands and Hearts, SK Warmers, Tygerberg and St. George's. The official league fixtures, you see them at the bottom of your screen there. Vixen UCT, Marties and UWC. So there's two big games there in terms of the league fixtures. Let's first talk about those league fixtures. Vix and UCT. Both teams having had their first games. Going to be an interesting match. UCT against Vix. Yeah,
obviously Vix having the home ground advantage and coming off a sort of a thumping loss on Monday evening against their mother club or the other team in the club. I think UCT won't make it. Vix will make it easy for UCT, but I think UCT should walk away with a win there. Jerome and then Marties and UWC. UWC really going to have their work cut out for them. Marties. Currently the league champions. They've got home ground advantage. They've just beaten Vix 56 points to 12. What will be going through Lionel Langenhoven's mind before this game?
I think Lionel will hope that Marties will send a lot of the guys to Vix and play with more of the Vix guys against UWC.
Oh, that's an interesting
because
strategy.
They normally do it like that, so I think he would hope for that.
Let's hope he doesn't watch. Let's hope he's not watching the obviously he's not watching tonight's show, because then he might just change the.
Well, it's interesting that you guys talk like that, because this is exactly what I'm saying, is that the coaches are thinking strategically. And Lionel probably will be thinking along those lines at the moment. So it's interesting challenge, right? Franschhoek up against Hamadiers, as I mentioned earlier on. Big one over the weekend is Durban against False Bay. We spoke to Jono van der Walt last week, and he said that they are certainly ready for that game. Tygerberg, St. George's, there's another big game this weekend. St. George's, Tygerberg, Lyndon, just in a couple of seconds there. Can you call it?
I think it will be St. George's, very close. Obviously, I'll go with my heart. But I know Charlton and Marijuana.
You're wearing your neutral cap now, of course.
Neutral cap now, yeah.
Yes, you're wearing your neutral cap, yeah.
It's going to be a very tough match, because obviously Tygerberg have had formidable opponents in the last couple of weeks, and St. George's as well. We've had our first Super League A opponent last week, so I think St. George's definitely will want to bag a win there. Incidentally, that Kells River and East River game is going to take place at the SRKK fields, the 9-side fields.
Right then, folks, a couple of great fixtures coming up this weekend, so certainly Club Rugby fever is starting to follow. If you have not joined the Newlands Faithful Supporters Club yet, all right, so if you're a Club Rugby player, you really should be joining the Western Province Rugby Supporters Club. Now, this is the Newlands Faithful. For just 1,000 Rand, you will get back 3,000 Rands worth of value. You can see the membership benefits there, from free away match tickets to exclusive digital content and lounge access, monthly prize draws, coaches, videos and tests and discounts for Western Province Rugby events. A whole lot of goodies there. But the actual welcome pack, a jersey worth 1,000 Rand, a cap, a membership card, the bonus gifts 500 Rand, Adidas and much more. So 3,000 Rand worth of value in that pack, in that kit at least. Yeah, I'm going to show you a few more slides. This is of course on the Western Province Rugby website, where you need to go to sign up, wprugby.com. You can see the pictures there. There's a nice picture of the jersey right at the top of the slide, the DHL Stormers jersey. Fantastic Newlands Faithful cap, the brand new exclusive cap, 500 Adidas voucher, as I mentioned. There's your membership card. That's what you get when you join the Newlands Faithful. And then, of course, you get an official certificate of membership and various benefits from the sponsors, such as a free trial, gym access, bonus gifts, and a Faithful SIM card starter package. So all delivered to your door, by the way, all delivered to your door by DHL, who is of course the official sponsor to the DHL Stormers. So 1,000 Rand gets you a Newlands Faithful membership pack. If you're a Supporters Club member, and certainly if you're a Western Province Club Rugby player, you should be already a Western Province Rugby Supporters Club. I mean, isn't that your dream? If you're a club rugby player, to one day play for Western Province. Remember, you want to go and watch the DHL Stormers this weekend. Then 33090. We stand together. SMS the word DHL Stormers to 33090. You put yourself in the mix to go and watch the Chiefs take on the Stormers at Newlands this weekend. Of course, they had a good win over this past weekend. Jerome, you make of the Stormers the result at Newlands over the weekend? The Bulls, the mighty Bulls, het van die gras afgeëet.
Yeah, no, that was a great result after, I mean, Flecky and his coaches took a lot of strain.
Yeah.
So I think they can sleep a bit now, but not for too long. So it is a great result.
Yeah, no, great result. I mean, we've got a number of Western Province players playing in the Bulls team now. Of course,
number of coaches,
of course, at Bulls as well. Even that wasn't good enough for them. You would have expected the Bulls to come to Newlands knowing the stadium so well.
Yeah. It's almost like a Western Province B-side.
Well, it's like a Western Province B-side, yeah.
So they're supposed to lose against.
Yeah, but fantastic to see the turnout at Newlands. Really was a great turnout over the weekend to go and watch the Stormers beat the Bulls. Right, folks, let's quickly turn our attention back to club rugby now. Of course, the league fixtures are starting on the 2nd of June. As I mentioned earlier on, Western Province Rugby are still just working it out. On your screen right now, you can see Super League A. Now, for those of you that have just joined, become fans of Western Province Club Rugby, and you're watching, you obviously want to know who the teams are in the league. So, in no particular order, UCT, UWC, False Bay, Stellenbosch. These are your teams in Super League A. The teams that got promoted this year and are new into Super League A, or at least either possibly back into Super League A, is St. George's and Villagers. Jerome, Villagers will be looking to get back into the swing of things. They've always been a Super League A side. They know how it works in Super League A. Well, maybe a little bit different now. St. George's has been playing a lot of friendlies, but what will be going through Villagers' mind right now?
Yeah, Villagers look good. Clinton is doing a lot of work there. I watched them against False Bay.
Yeah.
So they look good, and they've got a couple of new guys in there. And I mean, they used to be in Super League A for quite a long time, and it's good to see that they're back. So I think that they're gonna be strong this year.
All right, so there's certainly going to be, of course, promotion and relegation would have taken effect. Let's take a look at Super League B. Linden, we've got Primrose and Peniel Villagers, both relegated from Super League A into Super League B, and then Villiers and All Saints have come up into the league. But if we just look at the dynamics there, Super League A, Primrose and Peniel Villagers coming down. Would you say that because, and I'm just asking now, would you say that because they've would you call them Super League A teams? Do you think because they just came from upstairs, are guaranteed to dominate Super League B?
You can't call them Super League A teams because they're not playing in Super League A. You can call them the former Super League A teams. But I think after the first,
well, then you could say the same about Helderberg and
exactly.
Kelsriver.
Everyone. But I think I understand what you're trying to say there is I think Primrose and Peniel Villagers should set the pace in Super League B for the other teams. I also like the idea of Hamlets back in Super League A. I think they were really a side that really play well out in Mamre. And then also the new boys on the block, Vineyards and All Saints, both teams that have been. These two teams, in fact, have been coming out of the zones every year promoting. They were either one or two. Throughout the last 3 or 4 years, and I think they'll do good in Super B.
Do you think if we go back to the Primrose Villagers scenario, do you think these two teams will be saying, and Helderberg maybe, will be saying, well, we just have to work hard to get into Super League A?
Yeah.
Or is it a question of let's just make sure we do well in Super League B?
I think I'm not sure about Primrose structure, but I know Peniel Village have got an entire new executive membership, coaching staff. They're rebuilding, they're sort of rebranding, getting their things back. So I'm sure that they would want to stay in Super League B and establish themselves, and then sort of get back into Super A to stay in Super A. Not
you still got to take it one game at a time, Jerome.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean Primrose played last Saturday. They played Emirates, and Emirates gave them a decent score. So it's not going to be that easy. It's
not going to be easy. You can't be just because you came from the Super League A.
Also
and I think Rito Hlangwane, he's now starting to settle into this thing there. He understands this club. He understands this culture.
Yeah, he's been there and he's back there again. So yeah he's busy building. So. but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly look at Super League C. We've got a minute or so left. Violets and Solarians will certainly be looking to put their stamp of authority. I'm not quite sure if Violets will be playing in Super League C this year. And then the teams that have come up into Super League C, Blue Jets, Manenberg Rangers and Young Wesleys. And I think Super League C is going to be a very competitive and interesting league this year. Last year, everybody was talking about Super League B. Well, certainly this year. For me, it might be a very fascinating league, Super League C. We're going to have some really outstanding teams playing there. Right, folks, as you know, you can go and play Super Brew with us on the Cape Rugby TV Super Brew pool, and every week we mention the top 10 there. Take a look at Super Brew, Cape Rugby TV top 10 Super Brew this year. Nila is sitting at the top of the pile with Orion Zabu 0123, Manasi Cut, I don't know, it's been around for years. Chris Lamac, Yochi 12, KNB Kickers, Mervito, Gorgon, and Klein. Those are your top 10 in a Super Brew. All right, so fascinating playing Super Brew. Certainly has not worked well for me. I'm in the Super Brew Legends pool and always just sitting around at the bottom.
Not so very legendary then.
Not so very legendary, but that's what happens when you wake up 5 minutes before the game and you go, I better put my score in.
And you try and overanalyze it as well.
No, I haven't time to analyze it. I never think about it. I just throw in a score.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big double-header this weekend. Of course, Vix against UCT and Marty's against UWC. Lyndon, any rugby plans for the weekend?
Yeah, might pop round to RTS Belvels around the corner from me for
St. George's Tigerberg.
St. George's Tigerberg. Or who knows, I might join the Cape Rugby crew at the first time at Danny Craven.
Yeah.
The first time that the crew will be there, so it'll be a nice fit for club rugby. Yeah, definitely.
Jerome, your plans for the weekend?
Danny Craven.
Danny Craven for the weekend. Right, there you go, folks. It's as simple as that. Danny Craven for the weekend. Vix and UCT, Marty's and UWC. You've got a double header there. You want to watch all four universities from Western Province Rugby playing in one venue. It's an easy place to go to. RTS Belleville also. Well, you've got the full list of friendlies. St. George's is travelling. We've got those posters that we showed you earlier on, so by now you know where to go. Anyway, that's a wrap from us. Remember, 33090. Send the keyword DHL Stormers to 33090. Put yourself in the mix to win a set of double tickets to go watch the Stormers at Newlands this weekend. That's a wrap. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.